All right, we're starting.
I need to put deodorant on because I smell like poopy after I took a shower.
Dude, you could do the gun show, but I could do the beast show.
The what?
But you didn't see what I did you?
No, I didn't. I'm getting the Twitch. We are live.
No, we're not.
Yep, we have begun.
No, we're not.
So let's
not
kick it
live.
off. Let's do some. Today we're going to be talking about gaming organizations. We're going to be talking about starting, social media, players, teams, league and organizing, apparel, sponsors, the good, bad, and ugly, and kind of going through all of it. I like
We're not
this
live.
because Guided is actually pretty much a noob when it comes to this stuff. Like he knows YouTube and everything like that. You know, he's doing his own thing in that area. I mean, you can see he's got a fancy mic and everything like that. So that's cool. Where Jitsu he's kind of right in the middle of the experience between me and Gaiden, in that he's got some like hands-on experience. He wants to move in that direction at least a little bit, and so we should have a wide variety here of opinions. So I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves. Whoever wants to go first.
Since,
All right.
since you're the new one here.
Oh, all right. Put it on Jitsu Leon. He's new.
I just want to fire a shot real quick.
All right,
You haven't
fine.
got, no, uploaded on Twitter recently, so I think you should go first.
Oh, you're right. Well, I'm Guided. Of course, you know who I am. Well, not yesterday, but last week we were in here, you know, just chilling. But welcome back if you're new. You know.
There's another guy.
Shit,
Oh.
you hear me?
What's up? Dang. Okay, you joined right as
He's on
I.
time.
Crap.
Well, since he's the new one here, he goes first.
All right.
Yeah.
Well then, 1 second. Okay. Let's see. How am I gonna fix the stream then? It's like fucked up. Oh
Oh
god.
my god, I'm in the corners of
All right.
I have like.
Guided. Okay. I'm sorry. Would you mind actually piecing out of this one? I'm gonna have you piece out because we were originally getting Frosty in here, but he was sketching me out. So sorry about that. I was
Oh
like,
man, it's all right. That,
Alright.
that means that give me some time to record. Well,
means it gives you time to
thanks for
shower.
joining the stream.
All right.
Peace out, guys.
Hey, what's up, Aborted Midget? How's it going? All right. I apologize for that, guys. I'm fixing everything right now. I'm gonna get it set up again. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. All right. Still not fixed.
I'm gonna fix it.
So, guys, sorry for the issue here. All right, there we go. The names got switched around, so I'll just fix it as we go. So basically, Jitsu Leon, or I'm sorry, Frosty, we're going to be talking about eSports organizations, you know, starting social media, players, teams, so on and so forth, good, bad, ugly, and everything else. And we're doing introductions right now. Jitsu Leon, you're up, my man. Introduce yourself.
So I stream on the daily, you know, Jitsu Leona, Twitch name. My Twitter's below. I do streams. I play a lot of Overwatch, and I play Overwatch. That's it.
Dang. All right, and yourself, Frosty. Give us the interview. Or the introduction, I mean.
I'm a streamer and a YouTuber. I mean, I like eSports a lot. I mean, I was a competitive Call of Duty player, but then like finding like a team and stuff and keeping like the right team together, like getting the kids to travel and to stay together and like just to get on every day and play. It's hard to find people like that. So I just moved to streaming on YouTube. I stream every day, 7 days a week, for about 6 to 12 hours a day. Basically do it as like a full-time job, hobby. Twitter's Frosty US.
Frosty US?
That's it.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, sweet. And you guys know me. My name's Thomas, better known as Biologic, owner and CEO of Omega. So basically, I've got these two guys in here today. I just handpicked these guys for this this conversation. Actually, I didn't intend originally to have this conversation, but then I found out I was going to have Jitsu and Frosty. So Frosty actually has done some marketing stuff too, and was formerly a member of Omega Gaming. Check out the T-shirt. And Jitsu Leon actually has done a lot of stuff behind the scenes with me as well, and is probably at the moment the one I'm working with most to set everything up and get everything going. Also, Frosty just recently started Showdown Am. I hope I got the name right. I don't know if he's still working on it. And you just joined a new organization as well. I don't know if you mentioned that. If you want to talk about that at all, say anything about that.
Yeah, like I just recently joined up with them. I honestly wanted to join up with you guys, Omega again. 'Cause I know like what
You're
you
in the
guys
Discord chat, you son of a gun.
Yeah, I know. It was because recently I was working at a job as an animal caretaker, but I was working like 12 hours a day. This is real hard because I would go to work, wake up at 6, wake up at 5, go to work, get home to probably about like 4, and then just get home. But I'll be tired though. I
All
don't
right,
know.
for sure.
But I mean, yeah, I joined them a week ago. Really, I'm just like a streamer for them. Honestly, I don't even know like really like. I don't know if they have a team yet or not. Like, cause I don't even really deal with the esports part of it. They're more of esports. They just basically brought me on as to like just help them. I think develop a little bit. But like, I want more into it. Like you guys are actually like an actual business. They're just doing it to gain followers and get retweets, likes. They're not really into it for the long run, basically.
I see. Yeah. Stream for those of you guys who don't know, we're actually getting trademarked. I've paid everything, did the paperwork, and so we're actually just about to be at that point. So I think that's maybe part of what you're referring to there. I don't know if you knew that or not, or maybe you caught that recently that we actually made that move. So you recently started a Showdown Am, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, and so I think starting is that's. Where do you feel like you need to start when starting an esports organization or any business online, in your personal opinion?
See, like you can't do it by yourself. There's you can't do it by yourself. You need at least like 5 people. Like you need everybody. Like cause like you can't do it by yourself. You need to talk to people. Like, but like a lot of people like I don't know. They think they know like what they're doing with it, but they're not. They're kind of just in it for the likes and retweets. But it's just talking to people. You gotta talk to people. It's hard. It's hard though. Like that's why I said the amateur for AM Showdown. Like the amateur Call of Duty players or any amateur esports players, if you're not Nate Shot like or a formal Stumpy, anybody like that, no one's gonna look at you. Even if you are good, even if it doesn't matter, they're not gonna look at you.
So, okay, all right. If you want to get looked at, if you want people to give you attention, then you have to basically upload content, everything like that. I want to get back into that more in a second, but I want to first ask Jitsilion, what do you feel like you need to do when starting an esports organization or an online business in general? Where's the place to start?
I think the place you start is working on yourself first before you start trying to represent something. Having your social media be a big thing, because you can't start an organization and when people actually check you out, you kind of look like a joke. You kind of need to kind of professionalize your stuff up, like we're doing right now. We're setting up, like Omega's starting to grow. We kind of have to work on ourselves to be able to work on Omega.
Yeah, see, like me, that's right. Like I tried starting it. I started it, then I realized like me myself, I'm not even as like I'm not there myself to even start an organization. Like I should just work on myself instead of I should join a team and work on myself basically, like, and help them, and rather than like just try to start an organization because I'm too small myself. Like no one even really knows me yet.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to give my opinion here just real quick. I'm just going to try and keep this a short answer. Basically, I believe when you're starting, it's a matter of just getting your social media set up and just starting daily posts, like, as soon as possible. Because, like, you're not even going to really know what you're doing until you're doing it. And things are going to change. You're going to realize that some things were just outrageous amounts of work. And a lot of people really get caught up in the process of coming up with more and more and more and more and more and more ideas. But I think, like, the best thing to do basically is, like, set goals and, action, do things on a day-to-day basis, but kick it off with your social media and then work into getting website, getting apparel and things like that set up. We're gonna walk through more. I'm just talking about the very, very starting, but start with your social media, start with getting that stuff right. Let's actually
like consistent and
consistency is super important. Yeah. Well, okay. So as far as like a schedule go, let's actually bring this conversation into social media real fast, since like that's the kind of the foundation of everything that is esports. Because we're not on TV or anything else really at this point. We're mainly on social media. What do you think some of the keys to social media are, Frosty? Personally, I know Jitsu's gonna have a lot to say about this.
I say help everybody. Help me, help you. Like everybody acts like following somebody on
How's it
Twitter,
going, Carl?
Give them $10. Like if you ask somebody for a follower or something, like it's like I said, it's like giving you $5. Like you help everybody. Like I don't care who it is, follow everybody, retweet their stuff, like talk to everybody like they're your best friend. Like you gotta let everybody know you. Like get personal.
Okay, so I want to comment on that. Two things about that is that yeah, engagement is crazy important, guys. I've said this before, but the people who are going to what's up, Razor? The people who are gonna be, retweeting, the people who are gonna purchase apparel, T-shirts, things like that, are the guys you build relationships with. It's the people who really care. Jitsu Leon, social media basics, given the 101. What's up?
The 101?
Yeah, dude.
We actually need to do this thing called find like what you like. So
Yeah.
what makes you you, and you need to share that. I mean, right now I've recently been streaming. I enjoy playing games, so I stream. So I relate all my posts to what is good about me. So you don't go to my Twitter and you see like a cooking like show, do you? You come to me to see my content. So when it comes to social media and Twitter, you kind of need to find where you stand and kind of branch yourself in that direction.
Basically,
That's the best
find
way
like
to
your
be specific.
find your game
Find your
and stick to that game.
Yeah. Find
So
your
that's how, yeah. Because like I seen that too. Someone said, like find one game and stick to that one game. Don't switch. Like don't go from like Call of Duty to CS:GO. Like that's what I do. Like I'm trying to find my where I'm at.
I I agree with that, but then at the same time, I feel like more and more people are playing more and more games. I feel like there's so
Yeah.
many good games out there now. It's like, I don't know. I want to give my 2 cents real fast on the social media thing. I think it really comes down to two things. Number one, first off, the first like steps you have to take. These are the steps you take before getting into it. Figure out what your value is. What it is that like your videos actually or your content brings in terms of value, because a lot of people and myself included, like we get into this zone where it's like, well, like, this is, relates to me, or this is cool or something like that, but it doesn't necessarily bring value. And value can be in many forms. It can be in the form of, just making someone laugh, or entertainment, or showing them something they hadn't seen before, or whatever it is. But make sure you have that. Number two is niche. What's your niche? What's your area? And number three is your mission. What are you trying to accomplish? If you can get those three things down, that's your start. After that, it's just every single day posting across the board on all of your social media, every single day on all the social media. I got a lot of people out there, just they don't want to be on Instagram, they don't want to post on Facebook regularly, because they don't understand how these things work in terms of like the viewership. Because a lot of people will get discouraged if on Facebook, for example, they don't get immediate engagement or likes. And actually, I want to talk about in a second why social media is harder across the board. But make social media posts across the board. Like quality community, or actually I'll come back to this. This is a really involved answer. So just start with posting everywhere, because it's a never-ending game. Because you can literally keep upgrading. And remember, I know I'm going a long answer, but it takes a really long time. So players, teams, leading and organizing. What do you look for when picking people up? Frosty, how about kick it off, my man?
Somebody that already has experience a little bit, like that already knows like how to be an in-game leader, like that will like rally people up for me, like because you need someone behind you. It can't just be you taking on 30 people. Like you need everyone to basically have the same mindset, have the same goals. We should all be having meetings basically every day. I mean, like probably at least once a week, getting together to talk about what we're going to be doing next week or what we need to improve on. People that are in it to actually like do it as like a job, because like a lot of us, we actually do this as a full-time job. We're putting our money into it, so we want people. I want somebody that's going to take it serious. That's going to do it. It takes 10 hours a day. You're not just going to get on 2 hours, and tomorrow not get on. I want you on every day, basically talking, communicating, texting, whatever.
Agree with that for sure. Jitsu Leon.
I mean, yeah, that's one way of doing it. My idea is actually to pick up new people that have the same mindset and don't have the understanding of how to get where they want to be. And to push someone in the right direction and like, say if you take someone with a mindset and what they want to do, if you could push them in that direction, then they will go far, as long as you stay behind them. Because it's not like they can just back out and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because you're going to be on them 24/7. Yeah, like when it comes to like maybe a group of like 30 people, then Frosty's got a point. You kind of need experienced people to back you up here. But kind of, I mean, when it comes to experience, you got to start somewhere. And starting in a team is definitely the way to go, because it gets you an understanding of business and how it works. I don't know, it gives you a general understanding. So yeah, I agree with Frosty.
Okay. So, all right. Well, honestly, when I've looked at a lot of people, every single time we ever do Omega recruitments, and we've done a couple of them, we get over 100 applications every single time. And I have professional experience working for companies doing interviews and training people and whatnot. And honestly, when it comes to social media, when it comes to picking someone up for Omega, the biggest thing I'm looking at is your social media understanding and your frequency of posting. How much you really want it, because I need social media experts, really. Because the only thing that a person, basically a person coming into an organization can bring like one of a couple values. That value being, if they're a content creator, like the value of like entertainment and sales. If they have a decent following already, they have people they've built relationships with. And if you guys know anything about influencer marketing, then you know that those are the people that are most likely to buy, and like that's the value there. And can we make this person better? Is them joining Omega going to make them better? Can I teach this person something and work with them, improve them, and do they have a future? That's just for content creators itself. Like graphic designers, things like that, like that's a different story. And as far as esports players, I'm definitely looking at placings. In fact, really moving into recruitment here soon. I'm going to be actually going through and looking at brackets for pretty much every tournament I can find in a respective title. So if it's Call of Duty or Smash Brothers, I'm going to go through digging, trying to see, all right, what's this guy's placing? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Okay. If it's good, then I'm looking at his social media. Is he posting on Twitter? Is he posting on these different things? All the different social medias. Because basically, even if you're winning, if you don't have the following, it's not going to translate to income. And ultimately, you have to have some kind of money to be able to run a business. So that's just that. And as far as meetings, Frosty actually mentioned this. Something a lot of people don't realize either is that this is seriously a job, just like anything else is. And what the actual job of YouTubers, and I know I'm going on a rant again, is basically you're pretty much on your computer for the majority of the day, editing and posting social media and things like that, or on your phone doing the same thing. And you have to start by teaching them and being in a meeting with them every single day sometimes to make sure that, hey, you didn't post on Twitter today, or hey, you didn't post on Instagram today, or hey, that video wasn't good enough, or hey, your tags weren't there, or hey, your description wasn't good enough, and working with them on that. And then over time, as they learn, you don't have to really be so involved with them until finally you can start delegating to them if they eventually want to move into a leadership position. Hey, I need you to do this for me. Or finally at the very, very top stage, maybe Jitsu Leon in the future, I'm like, all right, Jitsu Leon, I've got a whole project for you now. I got a whole thing I need you to do. I need you to manage this entire new branch we're developing that isn't even developed. It's your job. You know what I mean? And so it kind of moves in stages, if you know what I mean. Apparel, sponsors, what do you guys think good times to pick these things up are? What do you think the best ways to make money for an organization is? What are you thinking, of Frosty right now as far as how you're moving forward financially in this? I'm sure you put some thought into it, so I'm going to let you take it away.
Financially, YouTube is where basically it comes in a little bit, the money a little bit. Not a lot, but...
Agreed, Carl? Agreed, Razor? Sorry, I'm just talking to the chat.
I don't know.
No problem.
It's a really odd question to answer, ain't it?
So it's a three-part question. At what point do you start looking into, I need to get apparel, I need to get sponsors, I need to make income, and what is the best way for me to make income?
I'll say first, start out with like picking up a COD team or like an amateur team and just enter it in like online tournaments or online leagues. Like I think it's like $10 a team. The payout is like $500 maybe. I mean, entering like a leagues or tournaments with like any esports team, I think. And then if the team if you see potential in the team, then that's when you start actually paying real like big money into it. I think then you move on to tournaments, lands, local lands. Then you go to big lands. I say. I would say start from amateur start an amateur team. Just do like online tournaments. I say would be the easiest way because through YouTube and Twitch, it's very hard, like starting out. I mean, like for Twitch, just to get like on their athlete or on their program, you gotta hit a certain amount. And YouTube, I mean, I think I got 6,000 views on one video, and I only got $2.58 for it for full screen. So yep. I mean, if you average it out, I mean, you're not really making any money from YouTube.
Actually, I want to, before I ask you that same question, I want to say that YouTube is a really bad place to make money, guys. like he was saying, it literally, the only way you get paid on YouTube is if you make $100 in that month. If you don't make it to that point, you lose everything you earned for that month. And so you have to get like tens of thousands of views before you actually get your first paychecks from YouTube. And even then, you know, you're really not getting paid jack shit. So YouTube is really not a good place to make money strictly through viewership. You have to have some kind of third-party thing. Anyway, Jitsu Leon, I'm gonna let you take the same question. When do you move into getting apparel, into getting sponsors, and what do you think the best way to turn income is in a gaming organization, and I guess as an individual as well? I'm sure you've been thinking about this.
Well, I'll add on to what you said a second ago. Yeah, what Bio said about YouTube was right. The only way you get paid through the months is using these third-party networks like Freedom and Curse, because they're the ones who take the YouTube revenue themselves and they obviously divide it in a percentage and you get the money back. But in terms of kind of getting sponsors and stuff, I mean, as an individual, you will pick up sponsors on the way. You can't think of sponsors like you can't think of it, oh, I need this as a part of my creation to like be my individual. Sponsors are something you pick up along the way when companies see you and they're like, okay, let's grow his audience a little bit, because it also helps them out. But so in terms of sponsors, you get them along the way. Like, you can apply for them. Obviously, they'll benefit you. You'll benefit from them. They can benefit back. But in terms of an organization, sponsors are what's going to help drive your esports, or at least your revenue from it. Because when it comes to kind of esports revenue, like even at the minute, companies are just like Blizzard with Overwatch. They're just throwing money out because they want to try and make esports successful, but they're only doing it by doing all these deals with sponsors and kind of partnerships to try and make money back from it. So I mean, in terms of a gaming organization, I'd say pretty much when you start, and I'd say when you start getting like a small following, right? Having an apparel there, just, I don't know, because it's like a football team, right? They might not be big, but if they're local, they're gonna buy your stuff because they're gonna want to support you. So I'd say the minute you start growing like a kind of a fan base in like a gaming organization, you should pretty much be the one to kind of have that apparel there, because even though it might not be a lot of money you make in profit of it, it's something, and it starts growing. Because if I was to wear a shirt in the street and someone liked it, they'd be like, where'd that come from? And that's another marketing technique, is they're showing your brand when you wear their apparel. Like even in videos right now, like Frosty's wearing an Omega shirt. People can look at that and be like, damn, he is really sick.
Omega Shop, go buy one. It's in the
Not, dude,
it's in the
this is
panels.
3 years old. It's brand new.
This is the original. This is the first one ever.
I swear to God, dude, it's like 3 years old. It's brand new.
It doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Okay, so I want to say, as far as making income goes, like we just said that YouTube does not make a lot of money. Sponsors are an interesting situation as well, because basically the way it works is that you'll get a commission for every single thing sold. So if you guys have seen the percentage codes, like, you know, Scumpy use code SCUMP for 5% off this Scuff controller. They take 5% off, and then Scump makes a percentage on it, and then basically
you have my screen. I have an example of it from Jerky XP.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's the exact thing. Basically, getting sponsors, it's like get a sponsor that your audience will want, that is relevant to what you're doing, and that people, you know, basically will buy. And that's what I'm saying is the power of influencer marketing. If you guys in the chat watching right now, if you guys watch anyone on a consistent basis, like, man, I love this guy's videos, or man, I love this guy's streams, you're much more likely to take that person's word for something if you really have that relationship with them. And that's the power of influence marketing. And you're just more likely to buy something through that person, especially when you feel like they've gone and got you a really good deal. Aaron Marino is a good example of this. And so that's kind of how you work with that. As far as apparel goes, apparel can be done pretty soon. I mean, like almost right away if you're working through Spreadshirt and whatnot, because it doesn't actually take any income from you. All you have to do is have a place where you can put it out so it can be, you know, purchased. I mean, you can even use the Spreadsheet or Redbubble store. You can even use a mix of them, which is what we did actually on the Omega store. And hold on, you're messing up the podcast, bro. Yo, Frosty.
Frosty.
About
Yep.
stopped it.
Yep. You took the faces away. How do you get players who would be sponsored out into the spotlight? All right. So how do you get players who should be sponsored out into the spotlight? You know, okay. So this is a question from Razor. If I'm I'm gonna take things from the perspective of an org owner, and if I'm thinking like, okay, I have a player who's sponsored, then I do exactly this. This is where I start. I'm like, okay, so I need to get this guy on the podcast, and I need to get a topic where he can shine, where there's something he's knowledgeable in, and I need to ask him questions where like that can shine. I need to do some collaborations with him. I need him posting every single day on the social media, and I need to retweet and get his stuff on our social media as well. You guys probably have noticed as well that a lot of people will send automatic messages on Twitter and Facebook and things like that, right? Yeah? Fuck those messages, right? I hate those messages. They're like the worst thing ever. I don't respond to them ever. But actually, they're pretty important, especially if you're doing it the right way, which is personalizing every single one of them. I would never recommend doing automatic DMs, but if you specifically message each person and really put like sincerity into it, then I think that it's a completely different situation. And I think you can build a lot of connections and get yourself out there over time. I think the automatic direct messages shows or kind of like points towards people's intentions. And if you're sending an automatic DM, your intentions are bad. You have bad intentions, is what I feel, because you are here to build a following and to basically, you're not trying to do something like, creative or good or connect with people. You're just trying to get something out of them. And at the same time, I want to say that a lot of people do trades for like retweets and stuff like that if you turn on notifications and things like that. And really, all those people who are doing the shoutouts for these things are trading attention for attention. And so sometimes it's actually a good idea to engage in these things as well. So basically what I'm saying is do all the daily posts, do all these things, and then just keep upgrading, start doing daily posts, and yeah, when I mean daily posts, I mean start DMing people and messaging people and connecting with people and so on and so forth. Did you guys want to take a stab at this question? Moving players out into the spotlight.
Moving players into the spotlight is a very difficult one because you kind of, in a team, you need to make everyone equal. And when I say equal, I mean as a foundation. It's you as a person who has to kind of push yourself up from everybody else. So I mean, yeah, right, if we were all in a team, right, us three, convenient, but we all had the same position, yeah, all of us should be entitled to the same right. But at the end of the day, it's who is going to put the effort in to push themselves further than everyone else. So yeah, in terms of an asset, it's kind of putting everyone equally and then kind of encourages them and pushing them the right way. And you will see people who will push way beyond what other people do. I mean, I'll give you an example. At the start of last year's Omega, we had RV, I think, and she was an Omega, and she managed to push herself up as a content creator, and she's with TK now. She's got a bigger audience. Yeah. She's growing her fan base like crazy. And it's things like this where people recognize it. TK recognized it. They were like, let's take that. So taking stuff as a foundation point is a very good way of pushing people.
Okay. Frosty, did you want to take a stab at the same question? He's asking, how do you get players who are sponsored or should be sponsored out into the spotlight?
I would say simply stream for them, host, go on their Twitch and host their channel for them, or retweet for them, give shout outs to them daily. Just constantly tweet at them and get your followers basically to basically interact with them basically as much as you are, because if they see something you like, they're most definitely going to go to that person too and start basically doing supporting them too. Basically, exactly what he said. Get them to support them as how you are supporting yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right. Real fast, since we're on the topic of sponsors as well, I want to actually talk about getting sponsors, and actually I'm going to have Frosty take this away a little bit as well. Frosty recently landed a sponsorship with Jerky XP, so I definitely, I'm sure he has an opinion on this. So actually, why don't you just take it away first? I'm going to have you kick it off. How do you go about getting sponsors? Give us your opinion on this, Frosty.
Well, there's a lot of sponsors, like just different ones that are like, you could basically pay them. You could basically buy their product for $10 and they'll sponsor you. Or if they like you and if they see your fan base, maybe they'll email you or DM you. Or there's like a lot of them like Cinch Gaming, like Cinch Controllers. Their sponsorship, like a lot of people freak out over when they get a sponsorship. But really, it's not really like they think they're getting free products. These people, like their fans are thinking, no, they're getting free products. Why aren't you giving giveaways? Really, you're not getting nothing unless your fans aren't buying these products, because you're making a percentage out of it. So really, in a way, if you're even if you're promoting them every day, retweeting everything for them, you're not really benefiting yourself. You're kind of just helping them out if your fans aren't buying your stuff. So I mean, someone like Jerky at Pro though, they're someone that no matter what, every month, they're sending you jerky. Like, so no matter what, you're getting the benefit out of them. But they came to me and asked me because they see my, because I asked them, I emailed them. You want to email them, of course. Email them, go on their website. You'll see sponsorships, whatever. Email them. And they emailed me back because I asked about for streaming and everything. They checked me out and they liked me and they said they'll give me a deal, like 5% commission, and I think it's like 10% commission, and then like I get 5% off, and then I get free jerky every month. But that was through just emailing them and contacting people and just communicating with people.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Jitsu Leon.
Hey.
Oh, were you about to say something else? Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, man.
No, I'm a cheeky.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. I mean,
Alright.
I've like with sponsors, Frosty's complete right. I've been like contacted on YouTube, like when I kind of had my moment where I started building subscribers quickly. I have messages on YouTube approached by companies asking, it's like, hey, we'll sponsor you. Just do a video on this, and you'll know you put it as a sponsored video and stuff. And there are scenarios where the video will benefit more, like benefit them more than you will get back, because a lot of the time they'll see it like kind of how Frosty said it. They'll give you about 1 or 2 things back, like commission. But in terms of actually like I've had sponsors with games where I've it was a battle royale game. It wasn't like H1Z1 or PUBG or any of the big games. It was kind of like a mobile game, and they're like, hey, we'll send you like free codes every month to like give out to people constantly. And in my eyes, I see that as a benefit, because it's like, hey, well, I'm helping someone out get it for free, and it promotes them at the same time. So I mean, yeah, there are sponsors that give you really good benefits back, especially for your audience, but you do get the occasional companies that kind of see a little interest more for them than for you, kind of like the commission rates for stuff.
All right, so I'm gonna say that this is business development is like the official title for what this would be, and it's kind of what Frosty said, and that you have to email people and you're gonna have to make phone calls, and it's a really easy, really tame version in sponsorships. But basically, don't get bullshit sponsorships. Cinch is a bullshit sponsorship.
Yep.
A lot of people literally pay Cinch to be sponsored by them. They're in the hole going negative having that sponsor, which is the exact opposite of what you're supposed to be. So just basically take your time, look at what's going to work for you with what you're doing and creating, and then kind of go from there. And just send good emails. I mean, it's basic sales skills. So if you want to kind of go into that more and look into that and forth, and yeah. I actually want to share back on something else I was saying earlier, as far as getting and moving forward, and compared to starting and compared to every single step, things change, and a lot of people are at different stages within their social media, and you'll see it all over the place. Like myself, and I don't know, I'm gonna use like anyone in Optic or anyone in the top organizations. If you look, you'll see like a lot of things that are just different. You'll see maybe they have better graphics, they have better stream graphics, they have better panels, they have emojis for their streams, they'll have graphics that they post when they go to stream, whatever it is. The reason I'm bringing this up is because even once you feel like you're at the absolute peak of where you are, if you sit down and you're like, what are 20 things I could do right now or in the next month or whatever it is that could move me forward further, you would come up with a bunch of ideas, tons of ideas, because like there's an insane amount of work that always needs to be done, and every single day needs to be spent moving forward in some way or another. While we're on this as well, I wanted to also talk about why social media is a lot harder right now. Do you guys, I'm sure you guys have some opinions on this. I have a pretty big thing here, but why do you guys think social media is harder these days?
To be honest, it really is just, yeah, back then, not many people were on it, so you could kind of grow audiences bigger because you were more recognized. But on companies like YouTube now, when there's about 3 trillion, billion, zillion videos being uploaded every day, the exact same video, like, you can go on YouTube now and you'll find like 4 million, like, Overwatch games being played. And it's like, every year, there's a bigger audience, or the audiences get bigger, especially with companies like YouTube and that, because there's only more people to be watching it. And, yeah, like, for older companies like Optic and FaZe, they were there at the start, they kind of, like, because at the very start of YouTube, I think it was back in 2005, a lot of content on it was trash. 90% of the content was trash.
Yeah, my God.
And the bigger content that they made quality of today back then is what grew companies like FaZe and that now. And the problem is, the only reason it's harder to kind of interact is because they were consistent with it. Yeah, you run out of ideas, and it's kind of like you have to get your niche on YouTube. Like for me right now, I'm trying to do Overwatch. My audience like Overwatch, so I'm gonna stick with it and I'm gonna keep it up. But when you've got companies like YouTube and you're kind of like you're making content that's unoriginal, but obviously everything now is almost unoriginal. But it's kind of the idea like if you upload, if Frosty uploads like a Call of Duty video today and then I upload it, the chances of ours getting watched opposed to each other's will be extremely different because it's more based on the audience you already have rather than what you're going to grow. So yeah, to an extent, social media and kind of content is harder to grow now for the fact that the audiences get bigger every year and you kind of need to be consistent with it.
That's definitely one of the reasons. Frosty, did you want to add anything to this?
That's what I'm saying. You gotta do something different. Everybody's always trying to do the same thing. Like you can't make the same videos as Nate Shot, Scumpy, Forum, or whoever. You can't copy. You gotta. Why would you watch me when you can go watch them when they have millions of followers? You gotta do something different, whether even on social media, whether it's writing different, like maybe you're making your tweets look a little bit different, adding emojis or making it like space and making it just look fancy. Whether it's anything, you just gotta make everything different. You gotta be you. You gotta be yourself. You gotta, like you're saying, you gotta find yourself. You gotta find what your fans like, and just stick to that. Keep going with it.
Okay. All right. I'm done messing with all that stuff. I was messing with the stream while you guys were giving your answers. So I want to add a couple things to this. And first off, the algorithm has changed a lot for how people are shown content. Back in the day, when you liked someone or you followed them on social media, their content was shown to you. That is not the case anymore, believe it or not. Only 1 to 2%, if that, of your following is ever shown what you post anymore, if that. Like sometimes, some places it's like 0.9 or lower, and it could be even low, like I said, lower. It could be higher, it could be lower. It depends on the engagements. Because basically, the way these places work now is they look at the comments, they look at the engagement, they look at how long you look at something like that, and based on that, they might show it to the person again. So if someone sees your content and they don't like it, they don't comment on it, they don't engage with it, they're probably not going to see your content again. Your entire Facebook feed, everything on your Facebook feed, everything on your Twitter feed, everything on your YouTube feed, it's customized based on your results. It's what you watch. You can literally go look on your Facebook right now, and if you've got a bunch of stuff that's super cringy, I'm sorry, bro. That's what you like to look at. That's what you're always giving engagement. That's just like how it goes. So it's so much more about getting things that actually are like entertaining and valuable and really matter to that person, number one. Number two, it's so much more about advertising and paid advertising than it ever was before, because the reason they moved it down to that 1%, 2% amount right there is because they wanted to charge more for advertising. So now when you actually pay for advertising, it is showed to up to 70% of your audience. So it's like OG YouTube. It's like OG Twitter, where you actually got engagements. If you were wondering why back in the day when you got 1 million likes or 1 million retweets on everything like that, why you got 70 likes on a YouTube video and now you get shit, it's not necessarily because your content is shit. It's because the algorithm's different and they wanted to make it harder for you, so you pay. And that's just it. So if you guys were wondering a little bit about that, also a lot of places have now changed it so that if you post mature content that would be considered 17 plus, like Call of Duty for example, younger audiences aren't showing that content anymore. So it's a tough spot. You know what I mean? Like it's getting harder not only because we have more people, but because of the increased just the other things we have to get around in a general sense, if you know what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah.
I mean. For sure. I mean, all right. So I want to talk about what were we saying? Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
All right, cool. Then I was gonna say let's talk some good, bad, ugly, favorite organizations, least favorite organizations. Some guys you could think could be doing better. Let's start with who you think is doing really well right now. First off, what organizations do you feel like are killing it?
Like anybody?
Yeah, anybody. What organization are you looking at right now that you Optic? Okay. Why do you say Optic right now? Why do you think Optic?
It's just they're just it's Optic. They're not just gaming. They're everything. They're cars. They branch out. That's what I'm talking about when you talk about talking to people. Don't just stick with like I mean, talk to everybody. That's what Hector does, man. He's communicating. He doesn't pass up any opportunities. He takes every opportunity that's thrown at him and just goes with it. And I don't know, everything they're doing with Vision. Nobody's ever done that. That's on Vision is so good that to me, I feel like it could be like a reality TV show. Like I feel like that series is better than most TV shows. I feel like. And
Okay.
It's just the content, all the members get together and make content together. That's what you need. You need everybody to come, not just me, not all of us just go separate ways. Like we're in an org, but a lot of people just make videos by themselves. No, everyone needs to get together, like, and make videos together. It's more funny. Like the videos are better with more people. You have more people to interact with.
I actually wanna counter you here. While we're on the topic of Optic, I actually want to say I think Optic is one of the what they do well is personality, and that's okay. So basically, I'm gonna bring this back a second, in that there are two things right now that separates Omega from every other organization. Those two things are personalities. We need good people. We don't have people at this point that anyone really knows or cares about. Number one, and number two, we're not winning any tournaments. Optic has both of those things. But what Optic does really, really, really badly is social media management. Believe it or not, they're actually like their Twitter is really good, but their Facebook, their Instagram especially, it was almost a month straight that they didn't post on their Instagram. If I had to pick an organization right now to tell you to watch out for, I'd say Immortals or Luminosity Gaming. If you check Immortals' Twitter, you'll be fucking blown away at how many times a day they post on their social media. It's ridiculous. The organizations I'm watching right now are the organizations who are putting in work into the social media. That's who I think that you should be worried about. Jitsu Leon, do you have a favorite?
I do.
Hit me.
It's Omega. No, I'm kidding. That's a good plug. It's
Yes,
actually Luminosity. Yeah, they don't stop.
No, they're
my phone
ridiculous.
goes off like crazy.
They're insane. Like
They're just. I don't know, man. I mean, it's like you know how you have companies, like game companies, but they have people specifically paid to like go on their social media.
mhm.
It's like they've paid people, but they haven't. They've just sat on social media the whole day, posting and replying, and it's like if you were to reply to one of them, there's probably a high chance you get an answer because they probably look at every single tweet and stuff, and they do content and they upload and they do all this and that. The problem with I'll be honest, Rusty, right? With you said what you said about Optic, I agree.
I switch it.
No, I agree with
No,
what you said.
no, I agree. And the personalities are godlike,
Yeah.
and yeah. What,
Do you know Era and Regal and what's his name? His name's Jordan something, Jordan Daly or what his name is.
I don't know him.
He's part of eSports. He owns Era, Regal, and somebody else. But he owns like North. He owns like a modeling company. Like this
Wow.
kid, this guy, I don't know. He does he has a lot of stuff. I don't know how he does.
Okay. All right. I want to say at the same time, the Optics show Vision. I was, dude. Fuck, man. Because I actually had the idea to do a show like that. I kid you not. Before they actually started that show. And I feel like that was like game changer. And they're not the only ones to have that show. A couple other esports organizations do something similar to that. And I don't know if they were the first to do that. But it's definitely really, really, really good. The production quality is insane. Thank God they have people like Hutch and other guys in their organization that do such a good job. That's actually the reason why Roger made it as far as he did and made it to TK after working with Elevate, is because organizations are trying to compete with that level of video quality. Because, I mean, like, it's super good. And what they're doing so well with the episodes, with the daily content, with the podcast, is continually fleshing out the individuals. Or get more and more and more, and these are individuals who are like interesting. They're living the lifestyle we all want to live at this point. You know what I mean? That's the struggle of where we are, is that we have to start from that bottom point and work our way up, and that we have to get the content, we have to get the play. We have to find that thing that is of value. That, like Frosty was saying, the thing is what's different. We have to get the wins. We have to find the personalities, and we have to build all these things from the beginning, because you can have everything else in place, which we do at this point. We have daily content, we have, the podcast, we have apparel, we have websites, we have everything. But without those two factors, you're fucked. Doesn't matter. That's why you don't pick up bad teams. That's why it literally is a waste of money to pick up any team that is not going to get on main stage. If the team's not going to get streamed, and they're not posting, especially if they're not posting on social. If they're not posting on social, they're garbage. But yeah, that's just All right. So we talked good. Let's talk bad. Who you think is doing a really bad job right now? Who would you like call out right now and be like, you guys need to step up? I already know. I already know who I'm gonna pick.
I know who. I actually know. I don't know. I mean, the Call of Duty scene, or
anywhere.
All right. Well, anywhere. I'm not too sure. But with Call of Duty teams, I think TK needs to do something.
TK, the Call of Duty team's not doing well. Yeah, it's true. They've been doing bad for a really long time. Did you see that tweet?
I think a lot of money's being like.
Oh my God, yeah.
Trying to pin it into it.
Dude.
Like, I mean, their YouTube side is really good. That's what they make up for it. But their Call of Duty team, though, they need to do something like that because that's like their bad image. Like that right there is what's holding them. No matter what, you can say, well, they're Call of Duty.
They need a win. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
You gotta win.
They had the play serve switch and all that stuff. It was bound to happen. I mean, if that was Optic would have done the same thing. I mean, it's with every team.
Agree with that. All right.
I don't know. I say TK.
All right, TK for the sake of their team. Now I actually have a heart for TK. And I think everyone in Omega actually has a special place for TK because we've had people go on to join TK. And so, like, I don't know, if you root for them, you root for the organization as far as I'm concerned. I root for TK because I root for Roger, like, all times. I'm always checking out his content. I'm like, fuck yeah, Roger, do this, man. But I agree. Yeah, Roger does a great job.
There, but as I said, as soon as I see the Call of Duty, I'm like, oh, God damn, I mean, come on.
Yeah, like, you're fucking up, bruh. Fucking up. All right, Jitsu Leon, man. Hit us, man.
I mean, personally, I do root for TK for the fact that they had.
Right.
Remember I think it was one person who, I think he was in FaZe and then he got removed. Do you know who FaZed Ice used to be?
Ice? No, I don't.
I'll explain it later. But
all right.
I know there's you know how you've got like your foundation teams, like Omega. You've had people go from this team into the next.
Yeah.
And then they go from that team to the next. And you kind of see it as stages. So you've got like your foundation, you've got your production value, and then the next team's going to be your quality factor. And then it's going to keep going up until you reach a top and you end up like kind of as a team like FaZe right now where they pick people up from the older teams of their older teams. Like if you look at a FaZe member, for example, you'll see they've been in like 50 different teams. Most of them came from Obey and stuff, and they were like foundation tier teams at one point. I mean, if I was to fire a shot, I probably would not. I'm not including the Twitter when I say this.
Fire.
Do they have a CS:GO team or even an Overwatch team?
Who?
TK do, I think.
Does TK have a Counter-Strike?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Because think about it, TK, I'm surprised they're not in a bunch of they're not in there.
Actually, no, I don't think they do.
For sure.
Okay. Because they are all like PC gamers too.
Hold up, Jitsu, you gotta give your answer though.
A bad team?
The team that you think needs to step it up. Not necessarily bad, but an area of improvement.
An area, okay, FaZe.
All right. In what area?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Their main channel, they uploaded like a week ago, and then the next video was a month ago. And
really?
A month ago,
what?
And then 2 months ago.
On the FaZe YouTube channel?
3 months ago.
On the channel that has millions of subscribers?
They do about.
On the breadwinner?
4.4 million. Yeah.
Who the what? What is going on, dude?
They upload daily, almost daily on Twitter.
Almost daily? Not even daily? That's bad, dude.
Like it goes from like the 28th to 27th to 24th to 22nd.
Dang. All right.
It just stays out.
Okay, guys.
They make a lot of money, but they can make a lot more.
I want to say optimally, you should be posting 21 times or more a day across all social media. 21 times a day or more across all social media. If you're like that's the number you need to be like getting right there. That's like you're up there. You're like growing every single day. You're at the professional level. If between your Twitter, your Snapchat, your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, everything is 21 above, you're at that fucking pro level. The organization I want to call it is Phase Red. I don't know if you guys have checked out I'm sorry, not Phase Red, but Red Reserve. Red Reserve is the worst I've ever seen. They haven't posted anything relevant on their Facebook page in over 6 months. In the last 6 months, the only thing they've posted were graphic updates. They have only posted like 7 times total ever on their Instagram since inception. The only thing they're consistently posting on is Twitter. They're a piece of shit organization. This is another example, again, and this is why I bring up the same thing, that it comes down to 2 things: personality and wins. You have to have these 2 things. Like I said, everything else around it will supplement that thing and help, make sure that thing happens. Like for us, for example, like I'm not jumping into pro teams because I don't want to spend the money trying to get these guys until I have everything set up that we can capitalize and take advantage of that opportunity that we're, and the money we're putting into these teams. But man, I'm not happy with those guys at all. I feel like it's just garbage, personally. What did you guys think of Clayster being dropped for Gunless, by the way, while we're on the topic of FaZe and Red? And did you see how well Red's team is doing? Red's Call of Duty team is doing good.
The Glacier thing, that thing, I mean, I feel bad for him on his part because he went through like a rough 3 weeks for that. Like it was,
Yeah.
But honestly, things happen for a reason, and I'm happy for him now because
He's winning.
FaZe just went home, and E United is moving on. So
Straight up,
I think
I'm
it was the best
shocked.
move for him.
Definitely. E United, I had not really heard of them up until recently, so interesting story there. And another interesting story is Splice, because I had never, Splice is a relatively new organization, and they're hitting on every single game right now. They're like on like all fronts right now, and I feel like it's an example of, like, do you guys know the background of the owner of Splice?
No.
He came from film, production. He used to work in movies. And this is a guy who understands video. He's a guy who understands entertainment, value and that kind of aspect. He brought these skills to Splice, and I feel like that's a big key of, like, what's winning. I feel like it's a combination between, like, the fact that they've picked, like, winning players and winning teams, combined with the fact that they understand production value. And, like, boom. It's, right there. Like, that's what you get.
It's
So.
like Echo Fox.
Yeah.
Who is it? The NBA player or whoever it was that picked up a team?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know exactly who it was, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He because he knows everything business. He's been to the NBA. I mean, that's right there. Because immediately, as soon as he started that org, it immediately went. Because I mean, he was basically running that org like he was playing basketball, like training as a basketball player. He put everything into it. As long as you put everything into it, I think there's no doubt there's going to be a good outcome.
For sure. What do you guys think the hardest part of being a YouTuber slash, it's not even a YouTuber, it's an influencer at this point, because you can't just YouTube or stream anymore. What do you think the hardest part of being an influencer is, and what do you think the hardest part about owning, operating, and scaling an esports organization is? 2-part question. Whoever wants to go first.
I mean, again, it comes back to who do you aspire to inspire in that. That's my Instagram question, actually. No, it's more of an open question, I'd say, directed, like, in terms of kind of what pushes you forward as a person, or at least in social media and, like, uploading and all this stuff. I mean, like, I'll like, but I know, like, you'll get a compliment from this. Don't worry, you won't get one again. But like,
Yeah.
I can see you as, like, no, because when I was in at least the position I'm now in at Mega, like, you remember I was a graphics designer at one point. I mean, you yourself pushed me, and I'm now doing content every single day. I'm streaming every single day. I am using social media every single day. And I know if I don't do it, I'll have to listen to a lecture from you.
I'm just going to say, dude, do you want to grow? Trying to grow your social media?
Like, I'll bring in E United again, like, even from the last question real quick, is that, E United, like, when you look at kind of the assets of what you need to do, you can go on E United's Twitter now if you want to. They tweet almost every hour. They don't stop.
Peace, dude.
And they have, they have teams in League of Legends, they have Overwatch, Call of Duty, Smite, Gears of... They have everything, and they're partnered with good sponsors. And it's like, you can tell from people who deserve what they get, and obviously what they don't. But in terms of at least what you're doing, you have to enjoy staying consistent, which is 2 very different words to put together. I mean, when it comes to uploading, right, you can enjoy playing games, but in terms of uploading them, editing them, making sure they have good quality is another thing with consistency, and not many people like to do it, and that's why a lot of people don't have good content as much anymore. I mean, right now, like, do you guys remember that, you know how Pomage had the new Catalyst montage that had come out recently? I think it was the third one, and it was made by like an animation artist called Nikki.
Yep.
She got a job from Call of Duty or something. It was something like that.
Ah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
She got a job for
Dude,
being a montage.
She's
maker for
fucking
Pomage.
ridiculous. I have 3 things. Well, okay, sorry. Frosty, first I want you to answer that same question. I'm going to rephrase the same thing. What do you think the hardest part about being an influencer is, and what do you think the hardest part about running a gaming organization is?
Being influent. You gotta have. Let's see. I think run an organization is, like I said, is getting people to be committed to it. Like I said, I don't want people that are up all night and then sleeping all day and getting up on. No, I want you to actually use the day. I want you to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Spend all day. Then I want you on a good schedule. I want people working. I want people communicating. Let's say talking to people, like communicate to everybody, whether it's local businesses, whether it's just Twitter, social media, like you're talking about, making websites. I don't know. I think it's just talking to people and being an good influencer. I don't know. You have to be passionate. You have to be passionate about what you're talking about and doing. Because if you're not passionate about it, then the people that are listening to you are going to be passionate about it. Because I remember when I first joined Omega, I was like, all right. Because I knew your sister from Optic Joel, and that's how I found you through YouTube, through like Battlefield and stuff. I remember when I first joined, I was like, all right, and then I remember the first day you sent like a paragraph full, like I swear there was like 100 notes there. You laid down and said everyone has to do this. If not, then you got to leave. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to upload, stream, do whatever you got to do. Whatever your job is, you're doing it every day. And every day I woke up, that's how I seen. At least a quote, or are you saying something like he's saying? You were always up early in the morning saying what are you guys doing? What's your plan for the day? Communicating, I think is the best.
For sure, I'll try. So I appreciate it.
Personal too. Let's give like a lot of people don't even like communicate or anything like that. They just like try to just talk to you through DMs. No, you gotta be in
chat. You gotta talk to people straight up. You gotta build those relationships. I agree with that. Straight up. All right.
Never mind. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna give my answer to the question. If you're done with your answer.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part, guys, is consistency. Because like here's the thing is that like there's 2 things actually, 2 hardest parts. The hardest part is getting started. Number 2 is consistency. Because when you start, you don't know what is and isn't gonna work because you've never done it before. So you're like confused and unsure about a lot of things. And because of that confusion and that uncertainty, like sometimes when you're posting every single day and you're not seeing the growth you want, you get really discouraged and you don't want to do it and it's not fun because like the fun is like the engagements, it's the people, it's the streams and stuff like that. Like it's not fun necessarily setting everything up. The other thing is that like to actually get somewhere important and really like do something, you have to be doing it for years. Like you are constantly getting better. Even these podcasts, I'm going to become a better host over time. I'm going to become more natural over time. I'm going to get better at asking questions over time. We're going to have a better graphic. One of the
podcasts.
First ever podcast, right? So I mean, like, there you go. It's like I said before, it's the 20 ideas method where you fix things, and that everything takes just a lot of time, and you have to just keep making everything just a little bit and better at a time. Even setting up all your social media across the board, getting your Twitch panels up and everything like that, it doesn't just happen. It takes time. And so the hardest parts are getting started and then consistency to keep going and know that it's going to take me a very long time of uploading every single day and hours and hours and hours and hours and days 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 of zero ROI. Zero. It's not going to be there at all. I want to say one more thing. I wanted to comment on the fact that Nikki actually got picked up as a designer or a graphic designer for Call of Duty. One of the things people fail to realize is that a lot of we're developing actual trades a lot with what we're doing. YouTube is not something that people can just do. If you're a YouTuber, you've already taken a lot of time to learn something serious. You had to figure out how to download Sony or Sony Vegas or whatever program. You had to figure out how to like crack a file. You had to figure out about tags, descriptions. You had to figure out how to operate your camera. You had to figure out how to get the shit off your camera onto your computer. There are a lot of things in between that you have to figure out. Figuring out OBS for the first time is a pain in the ass. Figuring out your Twitch stuff for the first time is a pain in the ass. There are a lot of things that you simply don't understand and have to learn, but these things are truly valuable skills that people will pay money for. Graphic design is a real skill. And you know, so is commentating. So are a lot of these things. And we're in the sports industry as well. So if you did like focus, you know, up really hardcore on this, you could find opportunities in a lot of other places. Straight up, I'm gonna like say like you guys know I worked for a fast water heater company. As the social media manager for that company, I would not have had that position or that opportunity if I hadn't prior worked on Omega Gaming and Omega Studios. It opens doors for you. You just have to know how to like work these kind of things and, you know, put in your resume. That's what I wanted to say is that, you know, your time is not wasted by any means. Guys,
Another person too. Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely, please.
Someone from FaZe. He was an editor. He actually got a job at Disney. I forget who was it.
There you go.
FaZe somebody.
What's going on, Rico?
At Disney. No, he worked on Star Wars. He's working on the Star Wars movie.
Nice.
So he's
Damn, that's sick.
Disney.
Nice.
Yeah, he started from FaZe.
Some of the guys in Optic went on to join like ESPN and MLG and whatnot as well. So I'm like, yeah, that's
like FaZe. I mean, what's his name?
yeah, exactly.
YouTube.
Exactly, yeah. That like, yeah, you just gotta put in the work. You gotta, you know, you gotta learn these things. People see. You know who's actually doing stuff and who's actually not. And a lot of it's just what you're posting on social media. If someone's not on social media, then they're practically not doing anything. Because in this day and age, following is a form of currency. And if you have a large following, you have leverage. In anything you want to do, you're more likely to get that job or position if you have like the prior experience and the following in social media. Just straight up. And Rico, how's it going? Welcome to the Omega Podcast. I hate to say it, but we're actually coming to the end. Guys, believe it or not, it's already been an hour. It went by fast, right?
Yeah,
it always does. The Omega Podcast flies by, man. So I actually want to get into the outros here a little bit. Did you guys want to say anything to the stream?
Thanks.
Thanks for stopping by.
That's all you got? No, I'm just kidding. So,
man of words.
For sure. All right, well, okay, well, Frosty, you and I, you know, I've been trying to get in contact with you, man. You were really hard to get in contact with, dude. I don't know what's going on. It's been tough. So I understand you're busy. I'm just messing. So well, let's just try and get another conversation sometime soon, so we can, you know, talk more and see what you wanted to do. Because if you were thinking about joining Omega and working with us, you know, I wanted to work with you too, because I feel like you've got a solid following and you know what you're doing and you're super ambitious. Oh, also you're gonna be in one of my videos coming up. You know, remember when you sent me that long message? You know how I sent you like 20 snaps and none of them went through? I told you that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I actually Snapchatted you in my video, in the Day of the Life video. So you're going to see in the video me Snapchatting you in that video. So be on the lookout for my next Day in the Life video. So, yeah, I thought you might like that. And I actually say some good things about you as well. For sure. So, yeah, anyway, guys, thanks so much for being in here today. Will anyone be streaming tonight? Frosty, will you be streaming tonight? Jitsu, will either of you be streaming?
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, if you're streaming after this, drop your stream link in the chat so we can move on to the next stream in case anyone wants to keep hanging out. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll see you guys again next week and next Saturday. We're gonna probably have some different guests again. And if you guys have any suggestions, we listen to all the comments. Hit me up. So I'm closing it right now. Now's your last chance, guys. I'm piecing it out. Anything else?
Peace.
Before you go, remember to follow the stream, because Bio forgets to mention it.
Yeah.
Follow the stream, follow the Twitter. They are live. Bio has videos on his channel now. He uploads daily on, or at least
just about.
Daily,
I try. There's a lot on
plate. Tries. Guys, we have busies. Or at least I don't know about you, first. I'm assuming you do. I mean,
I used to. Not anymore. Just stream it now. Just stream
right out the window. No, I mean,
sure.
Yeah, like me, for example, I'm streaming daily, I'm working, I'm learning to play piano, I'm learning to do so much at once. And it's really stressful to take in. But then again, it comes down to consistency. So I appreciate you guys coming to watch the stream.
Nope, thank you guys. Much love. Till next time, peace out.